I'm joined by a special guest and a friend of mine, our local congressman, Dr. Ruiz. Hopefully, you're going to be able to get back to D.C. Watching that report there by Reed, what do you think the chances are?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a small chance that we're going to be getting back on Monday.
Well, that's okay. You can stay put with the family for a while and your constituents.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
we can talk to you about stuff. You came in today to talk about the VA. I know this is something that's been close to your campaign, your heart, and your mind to help our veterans. You know it's close to mine, being an Air Force veteran.
Yes.
And so I know when you're back in the district a lot, you do a lot of meet and greets, visits, sit down with vets and administrators. You just did that yesterday. We've got some video. Tell me where you were and what you were doing in town out there in Riverside.
Well, we held a bipartisan Congressional VA committee hearing, field hearing at Riverside to address the veteran homelessness problem that we have. Now, first of all, homelessness is a problem that we can all have compassion for. I care about it not only because nobody should be living out in the streets, especially in our weather, in the winter and the cold, but especially in the summer. And I care about it because I've taken care of patients who have fallen asleep on the sidewalk during the summer that are homeless and have come in with second-degree burns, you know, the type of burns
where they succumb to the heat.
Blisters. Yeah. And so nobody, especially, it's unconscionable that our veterans who put their lives at risk for our country are out there sleeping in the street. So,
yeah.
so this committee hearing talked about not only addressing the problem, but the solutions that we can instill. And the takeaway point is this, Dan. The takeaway point is that we need an integrated approach to help our veterans get off the street, on their feet, and succeed in life, healthy and productive in our society. So that means that we need health care with mental health services, we need housing, we need employment training and opportunities, and we need education. Now, those services...
And we need bipartisanship legislator that will actually do it.
Exactly.
And who's doing that with you? Did I see there's an Ohio congressman that partnered up?
Dr.
My home state?
Dr. Winstrup is a physician. He and I have co-sponsored bills as physicians to help the health of our veterans. And so we're working on this with the other panelists there, Mark Takano, Congressman Takano, as well as others in the committee to really focus on what can we do. Now, we have a lot of good work that's being done in the community to address homelessness, and everybody's doing their own part. Now, the key here is an integrated approach so that we can have a case management service so that our veterans can get the mental health care and the addiction and PTSD, and also the illnesses that non-veteran communities also face, like schizophrenia, clinical depression, psychosis through bipolar disorders, and other things. So in order to maximize success, we need to address all those integrated components of helping our veterans get up and do well.
I agree. What do you think, and they're wrapping us, but what do you think the biggest problem is when it comes to taking care of these vets in D.C. when it comes to policy and getting actual legislation passed? Is it because other things in the bills are always trying to get snuck in there by the left or the right, and that's why a bill never gets passed to actually fix the problems? Because we've talked about this. It seems like you look back in history of our country since Vietnam. Yes. We haven't taken care of them.
Yes.
And we talk every other decade, every war.
Yes.
Why don't we take care of them?
Yes.
It's all about them when we're going to war,
yes.
and then it's nothing about them when war's over.
Yes, absolutely. We need to make sure that our priorities match the priorities of our veterans. Enough with the bickering on the micromanagement of certain departments that has nothing to do with the actual day-to-day needs of our veterans. We need to start addressing our veterans' well-being and their lives. I take the doctor's approach all the time. They need health care, they need shelter, they need food, they need money, their benefits to survive and stay in the apartments that they stay in. And that's what my office and my staff do.
And we've got the information for your office right there. I'm sorry, Congressman, they're wrapping us up, but if you want to get a hold of your congressman, you live here in the Valley, reach out to him. There's his office phone number and website. Contact him. You're very open, I know, taking calls and emails and talking to your constituents. By the way, I want you to come back on soon and talk about the race, because I know we thought no one would be running against you, and now two Republicans threw their hat in the ring, two guys that don't even live here. Jeff Stone, our state senator, and an attorney from Temecula. So, real quick before we go, any thoughts on that, on these guys running against you?
I'm just completely focused on getting our veterans off the street.
Okay, I had to throw that in.
Thank you.
Come back and talk about the race, will you, in a few weeks?
You got it.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. We'll be right back. Stay with us.